Good morning out there. I want to do a special shout out on this video. Just so you know, babushka, in case you're having a gander of this is a shout out to two wonderful women and others out there who I knew years ago after my mom died when I had to move down to Houston from Burnside. Hello, Rosemary, and hello, Catherine. I've talked to both of you on the phone. Now, Rosemary, you did help me with learning to love horses again. I'm showing you part of my neighborhood, by the way, nearby one of the main bus stops. Beautiful area. Oh, here comes somebody with a dog. How cute. But check out how tranquil this looks out here. Rosemary, you also helped out Babushka. You know, you and the other ladies, when we were in our mid to late 20s, she was around 8 or 9 years old. You put her on one of your Shetland ponies to teach her how to ride. I remember that. So fantastic. I was there. Unfortunately, I was so excited and my hands were shaking, and I was so nervous that the photo didn't turn out. It's a little blurry, but it still brings back good memories. So yeah, this is part of my neighborhood. I'm so grateful for you guys and for the others. So grateful. You don't even know. Look at that. Isn't that great? I like this part of Seattle because it reminds me of parts of home, you know, part of the Willamette Valley. It's awfully marshy. Actually, it reminds me a lot of Moonshine Hollow. Only that area in Calabasa, Oregon, you know, it's much more remote. But it had some marshy areas because of the creek. So I live near a creek like this one here. Did I say that wrong? I must have. I think I drank too much coffee today. I've been working on my homework. And if the instructor is out there, hello, we'll probably meet up on my next days off. I've been working, and it seems like endless work, endless creativity, and I still have a lot to learn, and I'll make it. What a beautiful day. Now, Catherine, when we were on the phone, gosh, you make me laugh so much. I was joking because I like to joke about myself. I don't like to joke about other people. Isn't that adorable? I like to joke about myself and the whole Yoda thing, you know, and turtle thing. I pause, as you can tell, when I'm talking. And you guys, I said you guys probably thought I was crazy because I do talk so philosophical. I think it's a habit I learned from my dad, actually. And you said, well, Belly, that's what we loved about you so much. And thank you. It's good to have a sense of humor. You have to, especially nowadays. And what's great is, as I'm learning editing on the computer, and I want to practice and practice and practice, like learning how to play the piano, it's great that I pause in my sentences, because it makes editing so much more easier to do. So yeah, Catherine, I remember during our trip, it must have been our senior trip in Canada. Remember that? So fantastic. Oh, I remember it like it was yesterday. And I might still have the t-shirt. I know I still have one of the trinkets. But I remember us swinging on the swing together. And you have such a beautiful singing voice. I did not have time when I was in school to be in choir. And my voice became muffled for various reasons. Mainly because of my brothers. I don't know, that was all in the past. But I remember us swinging together and you were singing. Do you remember the song? By the original cast. Yeah. The old Billy Jack movies. Listen, children, to the story that was written long ago, about a kingdom on a mountain and the valley folk below. On the mountain was a treasure buried deep beneath a stone, and the valley people swore they'd have it for their own. Do you remember that? Go ahead and hate your neighbor. Go ahead and cheat a friend. Yeah, I could go on and on and on. I think of you whenever I hear that. And once in a while, you know, I call it my comfort TV. Once in a while, I like watching old movies. Like watching Billy Jack, you know, and his wife out kicking ass for, you know, for the Native Americans and for the common people. So, yeah. But, Babushka, if you do happen to watch this, I just want you to understand that these ladies and one guy were so wonderful for me. Oh, it looks like we got a leaf blower. They were part of my therapy. It was almost like cognitive therapy. And I kept focused on my artwork. I chose. Yes, I chose. Or I was coaxed to move down to Houston. Houston, Oregon. Yeah, there's a Houston, Texas. But my guardian and her best friend wanted me to be on medication. Now, something told me, because of my past, like my upbringing, not my past, my family's past, having to do with habit-forming meds, not just alcohol, not to go down that road. And I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't. And I'm not saying it's not for all people. Of course, people have a choice. For some folks, and young folks too, it's a good thing. as long as it's monitored and as long as things are looked at dialectically from all angles. And as long as, if it's not working or making things worse, that there is a safe way out. I'm just saying. I'm not an expert on this. But that was a correct thing I did with a gut feeling. Relationships, on the other hand, these two women can attest. I had trouble with relationships. And I'm letting Rosemary and Catherine know, I'm letting you guys know, it wasn't just men. It was relationships with women too. I almost married a lady. Yeah, I almost did. It didn't work out. But that's okay. I am enjoying working on my art. That is the love of my life now. I am enjoying being celibate. And that's okay. Has nothing whatsoever with going through menopause at an early age. Has nothing to do with the aftermath of a major hysterectomy. I feel blessed. I feel grateful that I went through that. It's an okay thing. It helped me. I was told by more than one doctor that I could have died, and I didn't even realize it. Check this out. They're building condos next door. I'm surprised that I can sleep through all this, but I do. I depend on things like magnesium and hot milk and melatonin. Good stuff. Oh. I'm so glad I connected with you guys again. It needed to happen because a month ago I had a dream about Rosemary. Rosemary, you and I, we haven't talked in years. And again, I'm so sorry. Many condolences. You know, the death of your husband. His name was Francis. Like my Francis. Look, there's a statue there of Saint Francis. And your young daughter, she's gonna be okay. Everything will be fine. Don't let people push you and go by your gut feelings. That's another thing. Learning from you that you're Rh negative too. I don't get involved in the flim-flam. I'm not into the alien stuff, the pseudoscience. You know, I'm not into it. There needs to be more evidence. You know, if you look it up, it's like a wormhole of conspiracy theory after conspiracy theory. And I'll be honest, I was off the grid for a little over 10 years. I had no clue what was going on. I had been studying, you know, and wanting to get back into my artwork, and at the same time realizing that I'm happy in my position with my job. I'm so glad I kept the waitressing job. It had full benefits and really great pay. It was wonderful. for me and my daughter when we needed it. And I'm so glad, to be honest, to get into grocery work and to have a union job. It protected me, I feel, during the crash of 2007, 2008. It really did. And that's okay. Benefits, yeah, there might be a risk in the future to fight for my retirement. And who knows? There's been other financial bubbles just building up and building up and building up. Who knows what's going to happen in the future for us? I might have to fight, and that's okay. I don't mind, fighting on the picket line. And that's what I've been doing too. I have an ex-boyfriend. He's originally from Manchester, England, but he's traveled the world. And he was very active in that kind of stuff. He started with the railroad in Manchester. And also, a car factory in London. And he knew what the picket line was. Him and his buddies of different nationalities, especially friends of his, where their families, their parents came from places like Jamaica. He had to experience with them in solidarity. And this is a white guy, okay? Yes, Babushka, you know who I'm talking about, Maz. You thought it was amazing when you and I were talking that he's related to John Lennon on his mother's side. Well, he explained to me that, unlike my upbringing, folks like him in the city, they don't look at relatives the same way, I was raised to think about relatives. Totally different world. But going back to him, they experienced things. You can compare it to warfare because it was. And they were fighting, for the betterment of the working class. It was class battles. And they experienced the cops beating them up bloody with clubs. You don't read about that much in the history books. Totally different world. But yeah, I'm glad. I've helped, in different protests here and there. Not so much lately because I've been working the graveyard shift. And that's all right. And then I've been learning more and getting back into my artwork. And in the future, I hope to get back into those struggles. And then I volunteer as a steward. It's had its ups and downs, but I make it. When I first started doing it, it actually fell on my lap. And then immediately I got bullied by management. I learned the laws. I learned the laws from a group of people who know the laws really well. And it's taken about 10 years, and now there's more stewards because we don't get paid for this. It's totally volunteer. But it's been worth every moment. I'm going to let this one go here now, but hello out there. Hi. We'll meet each other in the future. Yes, we will. I want to say hello in the future to your kids. Some of them are still teenagers and some are young adults. But I love you, and like, share, and subscribe. And take care out there. Bye.